All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here. Sorry for being a minute late. Apologize for that. Everybody, good morning. Rob Rosa from Connecticut. Good to see you. Thomas, awesome. Craig, everybody. So let me know that where you're coming in from. Appreciate the comments so far. Excellent. Today we're going to go over how to market a listing that's in contract. So a pending listing. This could be active, contingent, under contract, under deposit, any of those kind of statuses. We are recording this. It will be available on our YouTube channel. Very easy to find. And so Craig, that's interesting. Oh, you're in Las Vegas. Yesterday there's somebody, their handle was loving Las Vegas or living in Las Vegas or something. And I mentioned that there's a YouTube channel, Not Leaving Las Vegas, that I love watching that guy. He does streams from the Las Vegas Strip. And oh, is it? Okay. So anyways, that guy is a lot of fun. So thirsty this morning. Boise, Idaho. Very nice. Misty, that's awesome. My daughter just did a road trip from Estes Park, Colorado, all the way through. She went through Boise and Montana and Wyoming and Washington, came down through Oregon, back into California. Awesome trip. In fact, that's a trip I want to do someday. In fact, we were in Big Sky, Montana recently. So anyways, Atlanta, awesome. Good to see you. So first things first, let's do this. Let me put the pending playlist, kind of the, yeah, right? I mean, what a trip to drive all the way from Colorado through the Western United States. And a lot of people, I mean, the East Coast is gorgeous. I love the East Coast, but when you get west of the Rockies, it is just unlike anything else you've seen really in the entire world. It's just nuts. I mean, Eastern Washington, the Scablands, the Badlands, and the Dakotas, which are east of the Rockies, I guess. And has anybody here ever been to Yellowstone? Yellowstone, it's one of those places where you see it, you hear about it, but man, I'm telling you, when you are in Yellowstone and you see Yellowstone face to face, and I tell you, Zion, if you're gonna go to Yellowstone, go to Zion. Mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. Zion's pretty small, but it's absolutely incredible. During COVID, we did all those parks, so you couldn't travel international. So we did all of those parks during COVID, and it was amazing. We were literally in the Grand Canyon with nobody there. Like everywhere we went, there were no crowds, no parking, no delays. Zion, the same thing. Yellowstone was getting a little bit more people coming in, but still pretty dead. Yeah, Glacier Park is the only one of the big ones I haven't been to. And my daughter was there. She said it was one of her favorite places. So I can't wait to get it. We were so close. But when you're at Yellowstone, which I think Yellowstone and Glacier are pretty close, that's a lot to do. I mean, you can spend a week in Yellowstone and not hit it all, especially if there's going to be crowds. So anyways, apologize for talking a little bit off base. Let's get to what we're here for, which is how are we going to market a pending listing to get more listings? And I don't want to say it's not that hard. That's not really fair to say that, but you can do it. It's not out of the realm. So here we go. First thing I like to do when I got a listing that goes pending, I want you to think about the property description is initially geared towards buyers. All right, so we add the listing to the MLS, comes into listings to leads, hopefully everywhere else, and it's talking about a beautiful property and so on and so forth. Perfect. All right, geared for buyers. When that listing goes into contract, you're going to see here at that link I just shared, and if you're watching this on the recording, go to listingstoleads.com/pending. And again, this is good for all of these statuses that are the in contract statuses. The first thing I want you to do is think about changing the property description, and you can do this in listings to leads. Just click the property address, and that should put you on the edit section. And I'll show you this in the account. And change that property description to something more appropriate for potential homeowners and home sellers to talk about how you got that home into contract. And then you can change it again when it's sold. One of the things you might want to do is do this for one of the listings in your account, and then you can just copy and paste that from listing to listing and have a quote unquote property description that really speaks to how you got the home into contract. So in this case, you're going to see, in this, again, this link, you can access this and the next one, I'm going to show all of these via the link I put into the chat. So it says here, this home is now pending. Our 100-point home marketing plan got this home into contract in 23 days, generated 18,256 views on social media, direct mail, and other marketing activities versus the 457 on Zillow. That right there would be an email to send out to your sellers. Man, or your homeowners. What a great, but that line right there is amazing. This resulted in 45 buyer inquiries, 12 showings, and 2 offers. So 45 buyer leads. The problem is there's only one home and 18,255 other potential buyers. I just 1 minus that right there. Are you in your forever home? If you're open to the idea of potentially selling your home, please keep reading. We still have all these potential buyers for homes like this one. If you have a home similar to this or in the area, text me and the price that you would sell your home for to one of our buyers. And then I also included a link to the landing page where people can download my 100-point home marketing plan. All right. So, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Going back to that domain, listingsleads.com/pending, you're going to see where if you're the selling agent, okay? So if you're the selling agent, add that listing to listings to leads. I've had people do this and they get listings from it. It's brilliant. It's absolutely awesome. And so the language around this one's a little bit different because now we are the selling agent. That means our buyer is in contract on this property. We click the green add listing button, add the listing like we would any other listing, except we're going to select the status as pending or under contract, active, contingent, whatever is appropriate. We got all those options. And again, I'll show that to you. But now check this out. I guided another buyer client to their perfect home in Whitney Oaks. Starting with preparing them for the journey and securing lender pre-qualification together, we built a detailed list of the dream home criteria, researched and previewed properties, and found the one. I negotiated a lower price, secured closing cost assistance from the seller, and oversaw inspections for a seamless escrow. Looking to buy your ideal home? I'll make it happen. And then I got homeowners. And I just essentially repeat more or less what I would have had on the other one. All right. You'll notice I've also got a video talking about how I got essentially repeating what was above. So you can add video to your listings to lead single property websites. And then, and right from the single property website, people can download the 100-point home marketing plan from your listings to leads account. Absolutely amazing. All automatic. This right here is it's just there. In fact, it's there for all of your listings. I've got a client review video. So a lot of really cool things that you can do there with listings to leads. And this is a great little post, 10 videos for seller leads when your listing goes in contract. If I click that post, this just talks about some top video ideas that you can record. Because when you're in contract, I mean, that is such a beautiful status. It's aspirational to any other homeowner in the area. It's a little bit of a black box because they don't know what's going on with it. You can't tell them the sales price or the offer price, whatever, you're the buyer or the listing agent. But there's a lot of great content relating to the escrow process. And so if you are into doing videos, take a look at this. This is brilliant. These could be little shorts you could do. These could be longer YouTube videos. So you can do a lot of different things with these ideas, but take a look at that later. And then the rest of this here is just going to be the same thing as the market listing and listings to leads. So when we go into listings to leads, we click the green market listing button. It's going to have most of this. Now, the one thing that you're going to want to go to this link. So make sure you get this link, save it for later. Let me show you this, Click here for Instagram stories highlight called pending sold. And then I got 2 videos here on how to do this on Instagram and TikTok. What's really cool is the ability to check this out. So you can use images, you can use video clips, and include links to the landing pages, to the property website. You can do polls like this one right here. So let's check this out. This Folsom home went pending in 34 days. I want to sell my home faster than this. So the poll question is, this Folsom home went pending in 34 days. So it's more like a statement. But then the replies are, I want to sell my home faster than this. I want the most money for my home, or both. Until those 2 videos walk you through how to do this. Here we go, another one. So this is for just sold, but it could just as easily be a pending. And I got the image from Listings to Leads. And it says, thinking about selling your home and want to download secrets to selling your home fast? Yes, I'm curious about selling strategies and I'm looking to buy. And that's just one of our landing pages. So we're offering one of the landing pages. Thinking about selling your home? Get your current home value estimate for free now. And check this out, free home value estimates here. So right on my Instagram story, I'm able to include links to different things in my Listings to Leads account. This is a phenomenal one. Another home pending in Granite Bay. Get my 100-point home marketing plan now. And again, these could be video clips, like where I'm just doing a little pan and zoom of the property maybe. And I've got another poll. I got a link, get the 100-point home marketing plan now. And that's just going here, right? Sell your home with a 100-point home marketing plan right there. Beautiful. And let's look at maybe just a couple more examples. So here, pending in Rockland. Click here for photos, details, and more so people can get to my single property website. And this is the one that we were just looking at. So what's so beautiful is when you take my advice about changing out that property description, now instead of homeowners, potential home sellers in the area, looking at something that's really geared for home buyers, they are now seeing something that's really geared for them, that's speaking to the homeowners, the potential home sellers in the area. You're going to get more seller leads. All right. You're going to engage more people. I got a poll, send me the ultimate guide to selling your home. All right. People reply to the poll. I can get back to them. Here we go. Another home pending in Folsom. Get your free home value estimate. Link into that landing page again. So these are all free things that you can do. And, you know, you could use the front of the house on one day, maybe a little video clip, pan and zoom the next day, an image of the kitchen the next. So you can do, my point is, you could do one of these a day for an entire week and do different offers. Offer a free home value, offer a link to the single property website, offer a PDF guide, offer the 100-point home marketing plan. Does everybody see how powerful that is? And it's absolutely free. And right on that page, listingstoleads.com/pending, we've got all that for you. And these are the 2 videos that walk you through how to do it if you don't know how. And I got you see some example screenshots right there. That's the only thing that is not in your Listings to Leads account. All right, the nearby homeowner letter, we're going to talk through that today. That right there, I mean, I would go door knocking on a pending listing if I can. Now, if you don't have time to go door knocking, you can mail it out. I will give you a great company, a couple of great companies that you can use, right? Short form video scripts. And let's see what we got. The sign writer. Oh my God. Okay. This right here is absolutely mind blowing that people don't do this. When you are in contract, go to, because you know it's hard to do when the property sells, because now you got to take the yard sign down. So when that listing goes pending, get the appropriate sign writer and get that on top of the arm. Makes sense? Get a flyer box. I would put the pending flyers in the flyer box on the yard sign so that when people are walking by, they can either, and then obviously get the text for more information. And I'll show you where that is in Listings to Leads. You can have a local printer do it for you very easily. Everybody's got a sign writer company. Typically, they do the text to writers as well for you. That right there is a game changer. You will get some of the best quality seller leads. And when you start combining all of this together, and these homeowners see you on Instagram stories, on a Facebook ad, maybe you did the nearby homeowner letter, the seller shared the tools that we're going to walk through for the seller to share. These people are going to start seeing you all over the place. And it's sometimes if they're walking the dog early in the morning, late at night, and they walk by your yard sign and it says sale pending or active contingent, they can either scan the QR code, they could send a text, or they could grab the paper flyer. And the paper flyer, I'll walk you through it. The paper flyer engages them with QR codes and text codes as well to get them off the paper flyer into your lead funnel. Let me get some comments that you get the idea here and that you can see how powerful when you combine all of this together, and it's not overwhelming. All right, we got a checklist I'm gonna give you to make sure, because you don't have to do it all in one day. You can do a little bit of it at a time. Blog post, whatever, that's fine. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's get to listingstoleads.com. Let's go ahead and log into our account. All right, I want to see some comments. Everybody good to go? Everybody excited about a pin? Everybody here have a pending listing or a listing that's going to be going pending soon, maybe? I think pending marketing is even more powerful than just sold marketing. Because just sold, they can go to Zillow sometimes and get the information. So let's log into Listings to Leads. Let's go to listings. All right, Alan. Awesome. Misty. Yep. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that. All right. Let's get some more people. I'm telling you, even if you're the selling agent, you can do this. You're the listing agent, you can do this. It's just some of the language may be a little bit different, but otherwise it's very straightforward. So first thing is, if you need to add a listing to your account, maybe you just joined up with Listings to Leads, you have a listing in contract right now, or you're the selling agent. All right, so your buyer's in contract. Go to Add Listing Manual. You cannot grab a listing that's pending, unfortunately, but change the status to pending. All right, pending, like you see that right there. So pending. We've also got in contract, under deposit, active contingent, and just sold selling agent, just sold listing agent. We've also got just regular sold, but I'll leave it as pending. And I'm going to go back here. Give me a second. I'm going to bring up that single property website. And so I'm going to do it the way you would do it. So at listingstoleads.com/pending, I'm going to just copy and paste the description from the example we give you. So I'll click on that to open it up. I'm going to scroll down and I'm just going to copy this. Add all the information about the property. All right, very straightforward right there. And then when you get to the property description box, if you've already got it in there from when it was for sale, well, then delete it and do what I'm going to do. Paste that in there. Now, before you do anything else, there is a clear format or remove format. You're going to want to do that. So after you paste all that stuff in there, you're going to copy a lot of HTML no matter where you copy and paste from, and it's going to look awful. So just click remove format right there in the upper right. Boom. Now this will look a lot better. And then I can just edit this. I can say went pending in 34 days. And I'm not sure exactly, but it may be, I know I got over 10,000 views. I'll just say 10,000 plus, right? And just edit this or just change it however you want. All right. You can even say, scroll down, because this is automatically the 100-point home marketing plan. It's automatically in the single property website as soon as I add this listing to my account. So if you want to make it easy, just say scroll down, SCR, scroll down to get our 27-page 100-point home marketing plan now. All right, save and add photos. Add at least one photo. So if you're the selling agent, Do not steal the listing agent's photos unless you ask them. I probably wouldn't ask them. I'd probably just go by next time you're over there for an inspection or a walkthrough or whatever it is. Or, I want to get going now. So I'm going to go drive by. I'm going to take a photo. Take a photo with your camera. That's fine. Just make sure it's a good photo. And all you need is one photo. Save and upload it. And when you save that listing, it will drop onto your Listings to Leads account. Let's go here and take a look at it. All right, so there we see pending. So I'm going to click the green market listing button. We're good to go. Any questions on anything I just did there? So we got the pending listing in there. We got the pending, we added the pending listing if you needed to. We edited the property description if you want to, and again, I highly recommend it. And the first thing we're going to do now is Facebook and Instagram ads. So this right here will be a Facebook lead ad. If you are subscribed to our AI text follow-up service, the AI text will engage with all of the seller leads that have a good phone number. The location will autofill. Radius of 15 miles default. I don't like people changing that. Leave it alone for the most part. Lifetime budget, I'm going to say $100. Crazy. The seller leads are coming in at like $5. These are some of my favorite seller leads out there because, again, when I do pending marketing, it's not just a Facebook ad, but I'm going to do the nearby homeowner letter. I'm going to do the social media post. I'm going to have the seller share it, and I'll walk you through that. I'm going to be doing those Instagram stories. Maybe I do a TikTok. I do a short form. There's so many great things I can do. And so I'm going to bump that up to $100. And Yakov, that's awesome. So Yakov says, I have a pending listing. I sent the letters and I got some inquiries. So that's awesome. All right. Hopefully some of those will turn into listings, dude. That is absolutely awesome. So I'll tell you what, for those inquiries, for some of those inquiries, you might add, if there's any good, like serious ones, add those to your Listings to Leads account as status listing presentation. And I'll walk through that a little bit later and maybe send them or print up and take that 100-point home marketing plan. Just give it to them. I mean, if they've inquired off the nearby homeowner letter, and they haven't really engaged us into coming over for a listing presentation, I might just go do a drive-by, grab a photo, and take the initiative, upload that into Listings to Leads to create that 26-page branded listing presentation, the marketing module, and deliver it to them. Right? I want to be the agent that just stands out where they know, hey, you're in good hands with this guy. All right, you're in good hands with this woman. So yeah, that is awesome. Good job. But back to the ad. So $100, start and end date for 1 week. You can change template. So if your template, I like the one with the big image on top and the 3 images on the bottom. So if you've got the side-by-side one, check this out. Change template. And I want to make sure all 4 images are the good ones. Sometimes you might have 4 images that are all kind of the same, or they're just not the best for showing off that property. So I can change my template like this. So you can see I can kind of just select, and there's a whole bunch more, there's like 21. My favorite though is this one for the ads. And I'm going to click save. And Brittany, give me a second. I'll take a look at your question there. And then I'm going to want to make sure, then I'm going to show you how to change out the images inside of this template if you need to. So give it a second here to save. And at the top right here, you see where there's a little edit icon? Click it. And now every image is changeable. And this way I can just make sure I've got the best images displaying. So I like the big image of the property on top. And then I want to make sure, living room, kitchen, backyard are some of the better images. I don't need a bathroom. I don't need a closet. I don't need a staircase. These are all crazy images I've seen in Facebook ads. I'm like, come on, people. I can change the color of the, right? I can change that color. I do like red because I want it to stand out. And you can see here, I can change, right? Change that. And I can even change, if I wanted to, the text, right? Pending in 23 days in Rockland. All right, check that out. Pending in 23 days in Rockland. And oops, all right. Oh. All right, hold on a second. Let me get that out of there. Let me see if I can. Ay, ay, ay. All right, hold on. All right, hit apply. I can just close it and bring that back to 100% and hit create ad. Now, there's a couple of other things that you can do. You can retarget. So if you get a custom audiences, you could, right here it says retarget current leads, custom audiences. So if you've got custom audiences, you could select them. Now, this is a buyer audience, so I'm not going to select a buyer audience for a pending listing, of course. But you don't need to, again, there's a lot of things that you can do. For the most part, just create ad, get that ad out the door. But again, if you got your Facebook pixel, you can add it to your listings to leads account. You can add any kind of tracking code to listings to leads. There's a lot of really cool things you can do. But that'll be a Facebook lead ad. It's going to capture name, email, phone number, selling time frame, and it's also going to offer the leads the ultimate guide. No, yeah, the ultimate guide to buying a home. So check out your lead notifications. In fact, let's go. Let me show you. This is one I did a little bit earlier. I'm playing around with this idea, and you know what I'm gonna have to do. Hold on a second. Let me copy that. For some reason on my computer, yeah, all right. Again, it's going to be a Facebook lead ad, and people are going to click it. The Facebook lead form is going to come up. It's going to say, "What is your time frame to sell?" Then it will say, "Would you like a copy, or would you like the ultimate guide to buying a home?" Like they're whatever. It's like is phrased better than what I just said. And then they'll select, 1 to 3 months, yes or no. And then the next page, it will name, email, and phone number. And then they'll go to the single property website. So super, super, super easy. Next up, we got social media post. So here's my social media post. I can edit the image here if I want to. All right, I can even, I'm not sure why it doesn't say no more images, but regardless, I can go change and play around with the image, change the images in the template if I want to, change the color again here if I want to. This will typically auto post by default based on your account preferences, but if you need to, for whatever reason, post now. It'll post to my available pages. I can select what I want. I like the single property website, but you got different options, and hit post now. I can also schedule. I can, again, edit the image from here. I can connect more social accounts if I want to. And when people click that post, they'll just go either to the landing page or the single property website or the virtual tour. All very straightforward. Now, this one, you're going to want to make sure you do this one. All right. This one right here. If you are the listing agent, even if you're the selling agent, right? I wouldn't mind getting this on my seller's page. Now, I would edit this. See where it says edit email? Or why does it say edit email? Oh, because it's going to send an email to the seller. That's why. But it's a social media post. So if you are the selling agent, just edit this a little bit so it's appropriate for the as a selling agent. But otherwise, just click that green send to seller button, add their information, click send. So if you got 2 emails, maybe you got 3 emails, I don't know, but you can add more than 1 email and the salutation as appropriate, click send and get that to the seller. And at the same time, do the e-flyer. So you can see here, I can change the subject line. This would be an email that's going to go to my seller. And these are for the seller to share on their Facebook page and to share via email, letting everybody know we got their property into contract. This is so amazing. If you had done this when the listing was just listed, maybe open house, maybe for sale, this might be the third or fourth time in a couple of months that their friends are seeing you getting their home from just listed all the way through now pending, and then hopefully just sold in about a month from now. And the seller's friends are going to absolutely love it, whether it's the post on Facebook that they're going to engage with, whether it is the e-flyer. And for both, right, the e-flyer and the Facebook, they just click and they're on the single property website. And what's really cool is I have seen, or I've heard from agents, that the seller will just CC everybody and they'll CC the agent as well. So you're going to get all of these emails from the seller sometimes. But regardless, and then their friends start replying back, and sometimes they'll do a reply all. They will send a comment. They're going to click through, become a lead. Maybe they download your 100-point home marketing plan from the single property website. You get your home value estimate available. In fact, let me show you. Both from that Facebook post and from this e-flyer, because now it's pending and some of the neighbors are going to see it. Right. And I got a lot of stuff in here because it's a training, but I got a 3D tour. I got a property video. But check this out. I've got a home value. In fact, the default lead form is to get a home value estimate. Isn't that awesome? So we want to make sure we get both of these to the homeowner. And so you got one for the social media post, one for the e-flyer. When you send it, when it goes to the seller, it's going to go from your email address. So they're going to think you sent it to them personally, and you're going to be CC'd. So you're going to know exactly what they got. And what I would do is I would call the seller up. So I might say, hey, Yakov, this is Scott. And I want to let you know, we're super excited about your property now in contract. And we got the inspection scheduled. I'm going to get back with you just to confirm. But in the meantime, I sent you a couple of emails. One was a social media post for you to put up on Facebook, letting everybody know your home is now in contract. But here's the thing. We are not going to stop marketing your home until it closes escrow. All right. We keep marketing until the contracts are signed. And so if you can put that on your Facebook page, it'll just help make sure we don't lose, any potential eyeballs that may still be interested in it. And the same idea with the e-flyer. All right. So whether it's going to be the Facebook post on their Facebook page and that e-flyer, and it's the same thing for both of them. Everybody get how powerful that is? And it's going to make you look like an absolute rock star. It's going to make you look just so powerful. So anyways, Brittany. All right. Brittany, I kind of get your question now. And to traffic instead of lead ads. Yeah, because lead ads will not allow you to ask for an address. I mean, it literally, probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, whenever it was, when we introduced this into the system for the seller ads, we added address was available, and it wasn't. A couple of months later, that Facebook took out that option. So annoying, absolutely annoying. But now here's the thing. When they get to the single property website, we're going to be able to get their address if they fill out the home value form. So I prefer to use lead ads, but you can do traffic and you can do both, right? On one, maybe you do a $50 ad and you use traffic, see what you think. And the next ad, you can do a lead ad and see what you think with that one. There's really no right or wrong answer for this stuff. It's just, what is your strategy going to be to do what you want to do? All right. Hopefully that made sense. But everybody good on in fact, there's change template. Let's see here. Oh, so it's just a slight different. What's really cool about this e-flyer is it rotates through the first 5 photos. And that's why I like to make sure that my first 5 photos are not just the first 5 photos, all of the front of the house. So you can go to the edit for the listing, just click edit and photos, and you can drag and drop those photos so that you got the first 5 photos. Uh, and I recommend that anyways, right? It's kind of goofy to sit there and have to scroll through 45 photos just to see the backyard. Yeah. All right. Next up, the nearby homeowner letter. This right here is the most powerful tool, one of the most powerful tools to generate seller leads. I had a client a while back. She was a selling agent, so her buyer was in contract. She added the listing. She did one client did an ad, got a listing. The other one I'm thinking of used the nearby homeowner letter, got a listing before escrow was closed. Can you imagine the listing agent? The listing, I can imagine the listing agent was probably like, "What the heck? How did the selling agent get a deal, get a listing before we even closed escrow?" So the nearby homeowner letter, first of all, let me just mention it does sit in an editor. So I can click that little pencil. Let me show that to you one more time. See that where it says edit, download, or send. So if I click edit, I might do, well, I know that 353 Main Court Rockland went pending in 34 days with multiple offers. And I can even bring that down a little bit. And I didn't mention this earlier, and I apologize. I could do the same edit just like this right here in the Facebook ad, in the social media post, in the e-flyer to the seller. So I don't like you to make a ton of edits necessarily until at least you go with our base language for the most part. But that being said, adding in just a little light touch like this right here can go a long way. So if you've got something to say along these lines that would make it look good, by all means, do that. And again, you can do that in the ad. You can edit the text before you do the ad. You can edit the text before you do the social media posts. You can edit this text before you do the stuff that goes out to the seller. And again, you can do it in the nearby homeowner letter. So, I'm not going to, we had somebody come in the mastermind group, was it last week or the week before? And he goes, "Why is my nearby homeowner letter?" He goes, "I hear people talking about this nearby homeowner letter." And he goes, "I've used it for like a year, sent out over 1,000 of them and got nothing from it." And when he looked at his letter, he had so much, he put his picture on the top, he edited it out like crazy. And it's not the letter. At that point, it's not the letter. At that point, it was like this bio with a little bit, it was like, and there's all these logos were on there. I mean, it was an absolute mess. And it was awesome because people were coming in and saying, no, that's way too much stuff in there. Another agent came in and said, "I use it just as it is, and I regularly get listings from it." And she said, and the tip is this, and it's the same tip I say all the time too. If you can get this to the same 100 or so homes around that listing, so maybe open house and pending, or pending and just sold, or just listed and just sold. If you can do it 3 times, you'll do even better. So maybe you do just listed, pending, and just sold. I like to do this for pending and just sold because it's speaking to the homeowner about you getting a home into contract, and then about a month later that you got the property sold. And you can do this as the listing or the selling agent. So you can either door knock, all right, door knocking is phenomenal, or use a company like Zaire Mail. This is a good one. And I always bring this one up because a lot of people are like, Zaire Mail? What? There's also Mailbox Power is really good. Thanks.io would be really good. So check that out. Zaire Mail, because here's the deal. You want it to look like you want it to be a handwritten font on the envelope. If you want to go to the extra mile and really get as much out of it as possible, think about doing like a red envelope, a yellow envelope, a green envelope, right? We want this to look inviting. We want those homeowners, if they're going to get this via mail, to not think it is a sales letter from a business. We want them to think, oh, it's a party invitation or something like that. So if you're going to send this out, you got to make sure, if you're going to mail it, you got to make sure that it looks, it's got to be something that's going to get opened. It's got to look inviting. Everybody clear on that idea? Now, we also do have postcards and door hangers. And the letter, the postcards, the door hangers are available both in JPEG and PDF. For example, Mailbox Power uses JPEG. Thanks, IO, I'm not sure. I think Zaire Mail uses a PDF. So different vendors use different file formats. So we got them available for you. Here is the pending. It's just beautiful. Check this out. So I'll download, and we got door hangers. All right. So somebody in the mail, it's just so funny. Somebody in the mastermind group was like, "Where's the Mailbox Power thing?" Well, there it is. Now, if I want to take this to Canva and edit it before I do the mailing, I can. It's awesome. Pending, visit. All right. And then for the backside, and here's what the back will look like. When this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. I would like to invite you to find out the new value of your home for free at, and we got that domain from Listings to Leads. So this is a free domain. You can customize it if you want to. You could swap it out with a completely custom domain like Granite Bay Home Values if you wanted to. If you're subscribed to our text service and you got this turned on, that's will be automatically inserted. And if you want to, go ahead and text. So if you want to text the phone number is 888. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll drop this into the chat. If you're watching on the recording, go ahead and pause this and check this out. So I'll drop it in there. Maybe copy and save it for a little bit later so you don't miss what we're talking about here, but that's so cool. That is so cool. And the front of it, visit the domain, right? Again, everybody gets a domain like this from Listings to Leads. They can also send a text that'll automatically be put there, and the QR code. So all of this is automated. So my point is, you got options. You got the letter, which is really probably the best, but we also got postcards and door hangers. And the door hangers work the same way. If you are going to be doing circle prospecting, we got a great script for you. So maybe I'm using Red-X or what's another program besides Red-X? There's Red-X. Regardless, if you got it, you know what it is. I'm talking about like a 3-line dialer, or you just use Mailbox or My Plus Leads or one of those types of services. Scrub the numbers so you're not going to be calling people on the DNC, and use the script to circle prospect around that listing. So powerful. And, depending on how you want to do it, if you want to call through if you're going to use a dialer, it's a lot easier to do it 2 or 3 times until you get a hold of them. You're not going to call the same people that you've already spoken to, but I'm going to maybe I call through the list 3 times. And then on the 3rd time, I leave a voicemail if I don't get them. And the script is essentially, this is Scott with XYZ Realty. I want to let you know that 333 Main Court in Rockland is now pending and is expected to close soon. And I believe it's right near you. I sent a letter, postcard, door hanger with a link to the single property website with all the photos and details. And I just want to make sure you got it. It's a really easy phone call. If you didn't, or if you lost it, you could text 1-833-710 to 25678 and get the virtual tour sent to you. With the way the market is now, I just want to make sure to let you know. Because when the home is sold, the home values around it are going to change. And then if you keep going down here, just edit it as appropriate. So in this case, I might say, I expect we'll get a great price for this. And I think you're going to like the new home value that your home should get. Because of this, I will be preparing an updated home value estimate for you. Now, again, if you're using My Plus Leads, you're using another one of these data sources where you got their name, email, and phone number. You could say, would Scott@listingstoleads.com be the best email to send that to? Scott, when you're running a pending or sold ad, can you add a question to the potential home seller? Not in a Facebook lead form. No, they took that. They took out that option years ago, unfortunately. Yeah. Now, in the single property website, the default lead form is the address right away. So when they go from a Facebook lead ad, in fact, let me show you here. Let's use the e-flyer for your database. And I got Follow Up Boss right here. And let me just do that. All right. I'm going to bring that over there. All right. So check this out. The e-flyer for your database, when people click it, check this out. The default lead form is this right here. Nearby home sales will be affected when this home is sold. No, this home is pending. Nearby home sales will be affected when this home is sold. Enter property address to get a free home value update, market analysis. So yeah, when they get to the single property website, the initial lead form starts off with the address right there. So Peter, does that answer your question? So whether they come from a social media post, the ad, the e-flyer, the post on the seller's page, the post e-flyer the seller sends out, all of that, when they get to the single property website for a pending listing, the default lead form is for the address. And also there's an embed lead form as well on the single property website. So maybe they close out the pop-up. The single property website virtual tour themselves also have those lead forms in them where we're asking for the address right away. But the e-flyer for your database, we want to get this out to our database. This is such a powerful tool. So I'm going to, what I'm going to do? So if I want to send it through listings to leads, check this out. Send this e-flyer to my list each time the status changes. What most people will do is select, send it to all the leads off of this listing automatically. And so every listing, what is the address of this listing again? 333 Main Court. Okay. So I just want to send it to all the leads that I've generated. Maybe I haven't. There we go. Boom. I'll just say, yeah, go ahead and send it to them. So any lead that I've generated for this listing just got the e-flyer. Now, if I want to send it through Follow Up Boss or KV Core, Bold Trail, Lofty, I can either click copy code to signature. So with signature will be your listings to lead signature. I've got Follow Up Boss, so I'm going to select Follow Up Boss. I'm going to go to Follow Up Boss, and I'm going to navigate to where I send out the email. And before I just paste it in there, I got to click just one thing. It's so easy. There's a little button that says Insert HTML. Once you do this once, you'll see how easy it is. Every so often, somebody comes into the mastermind group and they go, how do you do this? And then they come back a minute later and they go, oh my God, it's so easy. Look at this. And the great thing about this, the home value right there, is right there, right below the slideshow. So we're going to show again the first 5 photos in the e-flyer for your database, just like we showed the first 5 photos for the seller. I'm going to change the subject line. I could just copy or just do it by hand, but I'm lazy, so I'm going to just copy it. And then I'm going to send it out to all my seller leads. In fact, I might just send it out to my entire database because I want even the buyers to see that listings and homes are going into contract. Obviously, I want my homeowner, my seller leads to see it. I want my leads in the area to see it, but I really want everybody to see it because I want them to know, hey, listen, listings in the area are going into contract. I am the one getting them into contract. So, click through here. We can talk. And oh, by the way, if you want to get your home value estimate, it's right there. And of course, these will be your colors, your branding. I got my listing to lead signature right here at the bottom. All right, it's all amazing. So get that out through your database, get it out through listings to leads. And then I would totally call through some of the leads in my database, especially. And so, you may have done the circle prospecting, all right, but a lot of you don't, I know. But I would definitely call through some of the leads in my database because, again, I want them to associate me with listings going into contract, either the selling agent or the buyer's agent. I don't care. The homeowners in the area, they don't know the difference between a listing and selling agent. I mean, if you explain it to them, they'll understand the difference, but it's like they don't know the difference between a showing agent or the listing agent, right? Like co-marketing agent, when you borrow a listing to hold open for an open house, you borrow a listing to do ads for. People don't know the difference. And so again, if I'm the selling agent, I want to make sure I call through my database and let them know, hey, another home in the area just went into contract and I sent you some information about it. I just want to make sure you got it. So here is the script, right? So I'll say, hey, Peter, this is Scott. And I just want to let you know that 333 Main Court in Rockland just went into contract and is expected to close soon. I sent you an email with a link to the property website with all the photos and details. I just want to make sure you got that. If you need to, you can always text 1-837-10 to 25678 and get all the photos, details sent to you, or just reply back and I'll make sure I get it over to you. With the way the market is now, I just wanted to make sure to let you know about this. Then the script has 3 different conclusions or endings. One, if they own a home in that same area. And so you would continue, when the home is sold, it will affect the value of homes in the area, including yours. I expect we'll get a good price for it. So I think you're going to like what you hear on this. And because of this, now again, you can edit this however you want, but what we're trying to do is get engagement with these people. Because of this, I'll be preparing a updated home value estimate on your home. Would Scott@listingstoleads.com be the best email to send that to when it's ready? If they own a home not in the farm area, so they own a home somewhere else. So I would, keep going. I would do the intro to be in the same, but I would end it with, I don't know if you're interested, or I could say, I don't know if you're interested, but I do free comparative market analysis for all of my clients and VIPs. And I know you're not thinking about selling right now, but I would love to do one of these for you because it also helps me keep tabs on the market. All right. So would Scott@listingstoleads.com be the best email to send that to when it's ready? I would leave that as a voicemail. Why not? I want them to hear my voice as much as possible. I want them to hear my offer as much as possible. I want them to understand that I'm here to add value to help them out as much as possible. So I know a lot of times people, lead follow-up in particular, they don't like to leave a voicemail, but when it's my database, I don't mind leaving a voicemail because they're already in my database. So I want to be calling them every couple of months or whatever it is, my rotation through my database, whether it's your A leads, your B leads, or your C leads, especially my A and B leads, I'm going to be calling them up on a regular basis. And I want to make sure that they understand the value and the offers that I'm making. Any questions on that for the e-flyers, both sending them out and the call? Can I order postcards and mail myself? Yeah, you totally could. Yeah. In fact, what you do, I think you can do it from within our system. You'll be able to select print 500 postcards, print 200 postcards, print 100 postcards, and then send them to me. And then you can do whatever you want, if that makes sense. Or you can just have them send it out for you. You got options for sure. All right. We got 5 more minutes. We're going to knock this out. We got the short form video script. So make sure you get the video script out the door. If you don't know how to use the short form video script, click on that blue button, how to use teleprompter app. And this will take you to a page. And if I click this video, I walk you through how to send that email to yourself, how to use a teleprompter app. And to be honest, once I do a few of these, you're not going to need the teleprompter app. I don't think. pull out the phone and record the video. Great script. Hey, everybody in Folsom, everybody in Rockland, I want to let you know that 333 Main Court just went pending. You can get all the photos by texting 1-837-10 to 25678 or DM a comment below. I'll get that over to you as quickly as possible. This is a beautiful home that went into contract in 34 days. We had multiple offers, quite a few showings. The seller is so excited to be able to get on with their life. They're going to be moving to be near family in Boise, Idaho. So they're excited to get on, and we're excited to be a part of that journey with them. If you live in the Rockland area, this home, when it closes escrow, will change your home's value. So I'd like to invite you to get an updated home value estimate. You can go to california.freehomevalues.net or just comment value below, and I'll get that to you as quickly as possible. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Easy, 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 easy. Yes, leads from our system can go to both KV Bolt Trail and Go High Level. I can't remember. I think Go in the system, Go High Level is called something else. I'll show you a little bit later. All right, we got the single property websites and virtual tours. These are all automatically created as soon as your listing hits the account. There's two versions. I like the full screen version. That's what we've been looking at all through this call today. So no need to go through that again. Now, the last part of this is not the virtual tour, is really the sign writers and the listing flyers. All right. Again, I want my yard sign. I got 30 days. Hopefully. Maybe you have a shorter escrow, whatever it is, but I've got a minimum of probably 2 to 4 to 5 weeks of having one of the best converting as far as serious leads that actually go to a close or go to a listing, even buyer leads. You can get buyer leads from this, but it's really going to be the seller leads that you're going to get. And so I want to get a flyer box on my yard sign. We got all these different templates. They all kind of work the same as far as the call to actions and how they work. They're just displayed a little bit differently on different flyers. If you ever have a question on which one do I prefer, I always prefer the one either first or second near the top. So here we got pending, 890, QR code, scan for more details, or they can visit the domain, or they can send a text. And notice right here, this home is now pending. Our 100-point home marketing plan got this home into contract in 23 days, generated yada, yada, yada. And so they're going to make, damn, right? Yeah, let's text and find out what the rest of that was. And so we actually do that on purpose. So we give like the first, I don't know, whatever, 100 words or 50 words, whatever it is, because we want them to not read an entire book in the flyer. We want them to get enough information to compel them to either scan the QR code or text for the rest of that information. And then they can also go right here. That's a great domain because when they're on their phone, it's so easy. But again, remember, when they scan the QR code or they send a text right on their phone, they're going to get the pending property website. And the default lead form is the get your home value. But again, of course, they got all the great information. So right from the sign writer, whether they, and I'll show you the sign writer in the account here next. In fact, let me show you here. The very next item on here is sign writer. What I would recommend you do now, Yakov, you're in Brooklyn. It might be, you probably can't do this because you don't have yards necessarily. Well, maybe you do. I don't. My grandfather was born in Brooklyn, but I think of Brooklyn as all those brownstones. So I don't know. Do they have single family homes? But regardless, if you can put a yard sign in the yard, you want this. So download it. You can use dirt cheap signs to print right here, or if you've got a local printer, I would just send it to them. Just send this to them. They can size it however they need to. Now, I did say, and I lied to everybody. I like the second one. Oh, we've also got these over here that you can create. So check this out. And again, I kind of like the second one better, but regardless, for a pending listing, either one will totally work. But imagine that. So the top of the sign writer or the yard sign, sale pending, and then below the arm on a pending listing, we've got get your home's value now. And then, man, people send a text. Like I said, make sure you send a text to that later and see how this works. What it does is it initiates a text conversation with the phone number. So you're going to text the phone number 888-264-1910. Then you're going to type in property ID 182141, and it's going to trip off a conversation where it's going to, so you got the phone number, and then it's going to ask them for the property address that they want the home value estimate for, or the home value for. And then it's going to ask them, would they like this sent via mail or email? And then if they say email, they'll be asked to put in their email address. And it's all automated. You could literally create this inside of your Listings to Leads account right now. In fact, let me show you. So in Listings to Leads, but keep in mind, if you've already got this one on your yard sign, the one on the left, that's going to work as well, because again, the default lead form is on the single property website is also going to engage them to get a home value. So it's I kind of like this one over here better, just because it's a little bit more pointed. And when people do send that text, I'll get the phone number no matter what. So, either way, it's great. But let me show you here, text IVR. And any last minute questions before we get done here? So under text IVR, notice, right, text IVR, we got listing extensions right here, listing extensions and landing page. Now I've already got a ton. I should probably delete some of these. I don't need this many. But I can just click add extension. This was generated. Now I'm going to click cancel, but you would want to click save. And then you can assign it to any listing or property evaluation landing page or free home value landing page even. And then when you come back here, so for example, when I come back to if I'm going to use it for a listing, I would go back to my listing once I associate it, and you will see. Now you can actually use this for if you wanted to, you could double up, and you could have you could use both sign writers on a listing, for example, that's for sale or just listed. So you got imagine just listed, text for more information about this property, and then below that it could say get your free home value, text here for your free home value. I don't know why you couldn't do that. In fact, let me see that real quick. If I go to listings. All right, any questions though before we're done? I'm pretty much done. I'm just kind of playing around here now with this idea that I just thought of. So I got a just listed listing, and I'm gonna scroll down to sign writers. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I might use, if you can, I don't know if you can, it depends how big your yard sign is, but I tell you what, your standard yard sign doesn't convert. We all know that. What will convert way better? These right here. So if you've got the wherewithal, for sure, I would put the one on the left on my listing, on my yard sign. And if you can do it, so I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? We do. Some sellers though don't want. Yeah, but all right, Yakov. Here's the deal, and here's what I would tell a seller. when people are driving by, let's say someone's is looking for a home in the area. So they see the Facebook ad, they see my e-flyer, right? Whatever, they see my marketing, they do a drive by, but here's the deal. They own a home that they need to sell before they can buy your home. And so they need to sell their home. If I can get them as a listing, I will, I will, and they buy your home, then I will give you a 1% discount, right? I'm just, we're just riffing here. Some, my thought process. Um, but yeah, and sometimes people say, well, why would the seller want to help you generate seller leads? And it's because of that reason. A lot of times, enough times, probably 20 to 30% of the time, buyers in the area, the buyer of your home, they already own a home in the area, but they're downsizing, they need more room. They got kids now, the kids left the house, they got a job promotion, whatever it is. So they need to sell as well as buy. And so if I can get a hold of them and work with them, isn't that better for you than them getting with another agent? Make sense? Right? Yeah, Cubs, that makes sense. Now, some people are just gonna they don't want to hear it. And I get that. So, you always want to pick your battles on this kind of thing. But that would be my inclination. That would be the way I would discuss it with them. And it's totally true. And they're gonna say, you're right. Of course I do. Right? Of course, I want you as my agent to be talking to these people, because otherwise, if they go to another agent, who knows what that agent's going to do? Are they going to show? Will that agent show them your house? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I will. 100%. I will. All right. Yeah, Cobb, does that help out a little bit? Maybe. Anybody else got any questions? All right. It's Friday. It's 3 o'clock in New York. I hope you're going to have a wonderful day in the East Coast. How's the weather out there? Today is actually the hottest day of the year. We are having the most unseasonably cool summer so far this year. And today, in fact, it's the first multi-day in a row. I think we had 2 or 3 days in a row of plus 100 degrees. And where I live in California, it's very dry. And so it's actually really nice. It's still warm, but it's not like it is in the East Coast. New York, when it's 95 in New York, that is way more brutal than 100 out here all day long. That humidity you guys have on the East Coast is just a killer. All right. Anybody else? Thank you so much for joining us. Let me hang out for just a few more seconds. I am more than happy to take any other questions regarding anything. But yeah, get to it real quickly here. If I go to edit photos, I mentioned earlier about, rearranging. I always want the first 5 photos to be, you know, just to tell a story. So you can see here, even if I had 50 photos, I got the front of the house, kitchen, living room, backyard. All right. And then if there's another feature about the property, so in this case, it's a wine room. Not a lot of homes have a wine room. I get that, or a wine cellar. But you get my point. Just because you got 45 photos doesn't mean the first 5 all have to be different angles of the front of the house. All right. Is there a way to edit the verbiage on the postcards? Oh, you'd have to go through Canva, unfortunately, Misty, right now. We are literally launching a brand new listings to leads from the ground up. We're just finishing it up right now. We're going to be allowing the first group of beta people into it in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And then after that goes live, we're going to be working on a lot of really, really cool stuff. It's going to allow us to enhance the system a lot faster. We're going to be integrating TikTok, Instagram Reels, Stories. So we got a lot of stuff coming in the next 6 months. So we're excited about that. But yeah, you can take that to Canva. And does anybody have an open house this weekend? Did you see I'm going to bring it up right now. Did you see our open house sign-in request form where open house? Yes. I will drop this link. And what you're going to do, you're going to click File and Download, or File and make a copy. Is that right? Yeah, File and make a copy. What that'll do is that'll make a copy of this flyer, and it will drop it into your Canva, where you then can come in here and edit the image. You can edit the text, and you can do kind of the same thing with the postcards and door hangers. Yeah. All right. But yeah, Misty, and we're gonna come out with more default templates as well for the postcards, the flyers, the door hangers, and everything. So yeah, we've been working on it for a couple of years. Kill me now. Seriously, I'm like so over it. But yeah, I'm excited to get that live for everybody soon. Yeah, we got more upgrades than that coming, but just as a start. And it's so much faster. Holy cow. Boom, 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 boom. You're not waiting for anything to load. I mean, literally, it's just like all the way through. So I think that's going to be what we're trying to make sure that it's as close as possible to the current system as far as the initial design on rollout, so that when you get into the new system, it's not like a whole new program. Nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants to like, oh yeah, let me get into the new listings leads, and you find out like, holy cow, I got to learn a whole new thing. So initially, it's going to be almost like a one-to-one for maybe like a month or two, just so everyone can get used to it and be comfortable. And then we're going to start adding in things at a pretty nice clip. All right, everybody, listen, go off, have a wonderful Friday, get into the let me show you something in the mastermind group if you want, real quickly, to hang out. My wife is a mortgage lender, and she did this coolest reaction video. Adam Carolla. So, whatever you think about Adam Carolla is not really the point. But just like I'm doing a video right here using StreamYard, I got myself, and then I got the content. And so the content in this case is the browser. So she did this, and the content is she's just playing a YouTube video from Adam Carolla. But she just did a reaction video. And so this is the kind of thing, if any of you are interested in learning how to do this, let me know in the mastermind group. Go ahead and comment underneath this post right here, because I was kind of thinking it might be kind of fun to do a little training on that. I don't know if you all know how to do this or not, but it's an easy way to get some really good content out onto YouTube. Whether it's a reaction video, I'll show you another video she did, which I thought was really smart. Like I said, she's a lender. She only got 85 views, 25 views. I don't know why that doesn't have more views yet, but I think it will. She only got 2 videos. She just literally started the channel. And this one was a reaction video, and it was for a scam, a quit claim deed scam. And so she did a video talking about the scam. And again, what great content to provide to people in your database, in your area. You can take this. Obviously, it's great on Facebook. It'd be great. This would be a great content for your Facebook page, for your YouTube page. You do a little vertical video letting people know about this version to invite them to go to your YouTube channel. You get that on TikTok. You get that on Instagram. And it's a lot of fun to do these kind of videos. So if anyone's interested in this kind of stuff, just go ahead and comment under this post right here, and maybe we'll do a video training on how to actually do this, because again, it's a lot easier than you might think. And you could even use Loom to do it, really, right? It's not the hardest thing in the world to do. So, all right, everybody, with that, go have an awesome weekend. Have a great Friday. We'll talk to you soon.